good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you may be in the world. Thank you for joining me for another edition of the Truth Conductor. Man, I had to push today to get. I'm telling y'all, man, this is one of them days where I was like, you know what? I don't feel like doing that this morning. And I said, nah, let me, even if I'm late, let me come on up in there, cause let me tell you something. If if you don't get it right, wrong is gonna come out. It's coming out, and none of us are perfect. Let's start right there. Nobody's perfect. Everybody, I don't care who you are, how rich or how poor you are, you got some isms in your closet. You got something in your closet, okay? And so don't make yourself holier than thou, because you're not. And that's the problem right now. We putting a lot of faith into people that can talk the talk, but they can't walk it. And that's what the problem is. You got a lot of people that are faking and getting in the door, and they can't stay in there, and then they want to blame somebody else because they're incompetent. You see, and this is where the problem is right now. And that's why you're going to have to be on top of what you're doing and not worry about what somebody else is doing. See, that's what this is going to lead to. You're going to have to start focusing on what you're doing, because what you're doing is what's going to come back to you. What somebody else is doing ain't coming back to you. Only what you're doing is coming back to you. And that's why, I like getting into Proverbs, because Proverbs will show you what to and not to do. Okay? In Proverbs, you ain't got to go back 2,000 years. You'll see yourself today. If you truly start reading Proverbs, you will see yourself today in this book right here, okay? There are 31 chapters in Proverbs, a book for every day of the month. And when there are not 31 days, you keep reading until you catch up. Okay? That's what you have to do. Curtis, what's going on? How you doing, Tyler? Thank you for joining me. So, and listen, ladies and gentlemen. See, a lot of people don't want to put any value on integrity, but your integrity matters. Okay? And see, that's not something that people have always supported, was integrity. Because for a while, right was wrong, wrong was right. And now we getting back to right is right and wrong is wrong. But if you don't know what's right, if you're not sure of, see, and this is the disadvantage. I guess it's a blessing and a curse, and that's this AI, this artificial intelligence. Let's see here. Oh, really? Let me check you out. See what you looking like. I mean, one of the easiest things in the world to do is to sit back and throw criticism about what somebody else is doing. And yet, I mean, one of the you don't have the courage yourself. Oh yeah, you out of here. You out of here. Yeah. Yeah, you out. Yeah, had you. You don't need to be up in here. California is in the house. Thank you, Lopez. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me. Yeah, thank you for joining me, man. Anyway, so the problem right now that we have, not only in America, but the world, is people don't know who to trust. That's the problem. Okay? People don't know who to trust. And then the ones that they are putting trust in are the ones that's screwing them over. The very people that they're trusting. So rather than that person looking at themselves, saying, what is it about me that I can't get this right, instead of something must be wrong with the system. And it could just as well be you. Just some minor tweaks that you have to make within you. Cause listen, you can't see nothing in nobody else that you can't see in yourself. Let me say that again. You can't see nothing in nobody else that you can in your own self. Okay? A lot of people don't want to see that, but anyway, let's pray and get into the word. Father, thank you for another day around your word. Speak through my mind, speak through my heart, and speak through my lips, Lord, that I may precisely articulate this word to pierce the hearing, the vision, and the hearts of your children. In the name of Jesus, amen. So since today is the 26th, we're going to start on 26 of Proverbs. And I'm going between the Message and the New King James Version, okay? We no more give honor to fools than pray for snow in summer or rain during harvest. We no more give honor to fools than pray for snow in summer or rain during harvest. And it says in the New King James Version, as snow in summer and rain in harvest, so honor is not fitting for a fool. And you got so many people right now that are out here honoring foolish people because those people are tickling their ears. Verse 2, you have as little to fear from an undeserved curse as from the dart of a wren or the swoop of a swallow. In the New King James Version, it says, like a flitting sparrow and a flying swallow, so a curse without cause shall not alight. And remember, it says, so a curse without cause shall not light. So why you worried about your haters when they talking about you? Cause whatever they're saying, one ain't gonna affect you. It's gonna affect them. So why are you upset with them just making stuff boomerang? Well, one, because you don't believe it'll happen. That's first and foremost. Okay, but this is what they're talking about. Okay, verse 3: a whip for the racehorse, a tiller for the sailboat, and a stick for the back of fools. In the New King James Version, it says a whip for the horse, a bridle for the donkey, and a rod for the backs of fools. See, that tells you right there, man. When you perceive a person foolish, you don't fool with them. Let them go. Stop entertaining them. If you want some peace, okay? If you don't want no peace, then just keep letting them hang around. It's just that simple. Okay? Hold on, y'all. All right. Now, verse 4. Don't respond to the stupidity of a fool. You only look foolish yourself. Okay? Lopex, thank you. Don't respond to the stupidity of a fool. You only look foolish yourself. In the New King James Version, it says, "Do not answer a fool according to his folly, lest you also be like him." Don't get into no shouting match with these people. Don't be trying to, match them wit for wit. Because you can't. All you doing is making yourself look crazy. And and listen, and that's easier said than done, because usually when somebody tick you off, you want to say something, immediately address it right then and there. Okay? Listen to verse 5. Answer to a fool in simple terms, so he doesn't get a swelled head. Answer a fool in simple terms, so he doesn't get a swelled head. In the New King James Version, it says, answer a fool according to his folly, lest he be wise in his own eyes. Okay? And that's reading your own press, thinking that you're more than you really are when you read your own press. Okay? Verse 6. You're only asking for trouble when you send a message by a fool. Listen to this again. You're only asking for trouble when you send a message by a fool, because he ain't gonna get it right. He ain't gonna deliver it right. You can wrap it up, boy, and he's still gonna mess that up some kind of way. Okay? In the New King James Version, it says, he who sends a message by the hand of a fool cuts off cut off his own feet and drink violence. They can't be trusted. That's what that when you start dealing with foolish people, they cannot be trusted. Okay? Verse 7. A proverb quoted by fools is limp as a wet noodle. Okay, Tanya. Thank you. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, man. A Proverbs quoted by fools is limp as a wet noodle. In the New King James Version, it says, like the legs of the lame that hangs limp is a proverb in mouth of fools because they ain't gonna ever be able to quote it right. They will never be able. They see a proverbs in the mouth of a fool ain't gonna never come out right. It'll come out in pieces, okay, and you got to take them pieces and put them together, but it ain't gonna come out right. Okay, it's just not coming out right. All right, verse 8: putting a fool in a place of honor is like setting a mud brick on a marble column. Verse in the New King James Version, it says, like one who binds a stone in a sling is he who gives honor to a fool. Well, don't we see that in some of our politics today? People being placed in positions that they aren't qualified for. It's done on favoritism. Isn't that what we're seeing today? Verse 9: to ask a moron to quote a proverb is like putting a scalpel in the hands of a drunk. Uh, wow. In the New King James Version, it says, like a thorn that goes into the hand of a drunkard is a proverb in the mouth of fool. So you mean to tell me that this portion of the Bible can differentiate between a wise and a foolish person? That when it's in the mouth of a foolish person, it's not going to come out right, but yet in the mouth of a person of wisdom, it'll give you understanding. And it already showed you how powerful that understanding is when you can help people see things, when you can help people process things. Okay, it's understanding. When you can talk and people get it, that's understanding. Okay, that's what understanding is. When people talk, when you talk, people get what you're saying. Okay, all right. So, um, verse 10: hire a fool or a drunk, and you'll shoot yourself in the foot. In the New King James Version, it says, the great God who formed everything gives a fool his hire and a transgressor his wages. Um, verse 11: as a dog eat its own vomit, so fools recycle silliness. And in the New King James Version, it says, as a dog returned to his own vomit, so a fool repeats his folly. So that tells you right there that people who are stuck into doing crazy, stupid things are just like a dog that's going to return to his own vomit. You ever seen a dog vomit? That dog will go back and sniff that shit. Okay? It will go back and sniff it. All right? Well, that's how a fool will end up, yeah, like a dog, man. That's what it says. I'm not saying this. This is in the Bible. That's not me. Don't question me. I'm not. I didn't write this. King Solomon wrote this. But that's what he's saying. So, that's the illustration. And how many times have you seen the dog return to his own vomit? So he ain't telling no lie because there are things that you've seen. Okay? Verse 12. See that man who thinks he's so smart, you can expect far more from a fool than from him. In the New King James Version, it says, do you see a man wise in his own eyes? There is more hope for a fool than for him. You see, anytime you playing the smartest person in the room, that's a mistake. Because there's somebody always smarter that's not saying a word. They'll let you go on thinking that you all that and a bag of chips until it's time to produce, and you can't. You can't. And here's a good example. Look at the guy that's overrunning the Pentagon, the Department of Defense. They rammed him through the no, he wasn't qualified. And now all of a sudden, all these issues are coming up. When somebody, if you got somebody that knew the ropes, you can't just walk in, think you're gonna waltz into the belly of the beast like that and things are gonna snap in line. It don't work that way. You got cultures, you got cliques, you got a whole bunch of things that you got to resolve first. Then you can move forward. But people thinking they just gonna just cause they on the scene, things supposed to change. No, no. Verse 13. Loafers say it is dangerous out there. Tigers are prowling the streets and then pull the covers back over their heads. In the New King James Version, it says, the lazy man says, there's a lion in the street, in the road. A fierce lion is in the street. In other words, a lazy person is going to use whatever excuse they can for not doing something. That's when you find somebody that is always got an excuse as to why they're not doing or have done. They lazy. That's all that's telling you. They lazy, and ain't gonna be no change in that. And if you want to put trust in that laziness, that's on you. You can't blame nobody else because you saw the warning signs and didn't heed them. And then you kept going. And now that the stuff you getting backlash, now you're, oh, what went wrong? You didn't listen. That's what went wrong. Verse 14. Just as the door turns on his hinges, so is the lazy bone turns back over in the bed. Um, in the New King James Version, it says, as a door turns on his hinges, so does the lazy man on his bed. And and these are the dudes that think that they all that in a bag of chips in the bed. They ain't got to do nothing else. They just got to know how to perform. Okay, I'll take a look. I'll take a look. Anyway, let me get back to this here. 15. A shiftless sluggard puts his fork in the pie, but is too lazy to lift it to his mouth. In the New King James Version, it says the lazy man buries his hand in the bowl. It wearies him to bring it back to my. I mean, imagine, man, that you too doggone lazy to feed your own self. Imagine that. You are just too, not that you can't. You got everything you need in front of you, but you just too lazy to come and feed yourself. You got to have somebody else feeding you. And that means giving you, making sure you got. That's the kind of person they talking about. Okay. 16. Dreamers fantasize their self-importance. They think that they are smarter than a whole college faculty. In the New King James Version, it says, "The lazy man is wiser in his own eyes than seven men can answer sensibly." Listen to that. A lazy man is wiser in his own eyes than seven men who can answer sensibly. That's how wise a fool is in his own eyes. He don't care nothing about nobody else. And that's the thing that you got to remember when it's about a foolish person, it's only about themselves. It ain't about for the good of everybody. It's just for them. They only look out for them. That's the only person they looking out for. It's their needs. They don't care nothing about nobody else's need. Verse 17. You grab a mad dog by the ears when you butt into a quarrel that's none of your business. You grab a mad dog by the ears when you butt into a quarrel that's none of your business. In the New King James Version, it says, "He who passes by and meddles in a quarrel not his own is like one who takes a dog by the ears." If you take a dog by the ears, you're going to get bit. It's just that simple. You grab a dog by his ears, he going to bite you on both arms as long as you holding on. He biting both arms. Okay? Um, like a madman who throws firebrands, arrows, and death is the man who deceives his neighbor and says, "I was only joking." Listen to this. Like a madman who throws firebrands, arrows, and death is the man who deceives his neighbor and says, "Oh, I was only joking." Man, come on, lighten up. That was supposed to be a joke. Why are you so serious? Okay, that's what this is talking about. Oh, you need to lighten up some. You take life too serious. It wasn't supposed to go like that. And this is what it say in the in the Message Bible. People who shrug off deliberate deception, saying, "I didn't mean it. I was only joking," are worse than careless campers who walk away from smoldering campfires. Listen to this. People who shrug off deliberate deception, saying, "I ain't mean it. I was only joking," are worse than careless campers who walk away from smoldering campfire. See, and this is the problem. Remember, I started this out is, you know, the reason we have so much division today is because people don't know who to trust. It's a trust issue. Because people are saying one thing while meaning something else. I just told my grandson this morning. I said, "Man, you see, with your generation, with this AI artificial intelligence, you ain't gonna know what's real and what ain't. Because you got to deal with that. Y'all gonna have it worse. You're gonna be wishing for these simple days. And people don't see that because they're only caught up in their own world. And sometimes your own world is your biggest fantasy. Let me say that again. Sometimes your own world is your biggest fantasy. Okay? All right? Verse 20. When you run out of wood, the fire goes out. When the gossip in, the quarrel dies down. Listen, this is what it say in the New King James Version. Where there is no wood, the fire goes out. Where there's no terror, but no talebearer, no drama person, strife ceases. See, when you start getting rid of the one that's always got some gossip going, okay, always spreading is the one that's in the know. That's the first one you get over here. That's the first one the person always in the know of everybody's business. That's the one that's gonna come. The drama is coming through them. And those are the ones you need to be separating yourself from. That one I always got no in everybody business. I know y'all know some of them. I know some. You got some family members, man. Or they know boy shit. No matter what go on in the community, I don't care. Well, they always know what's going on. You know, then the kind of people, you get away from, boy, because they talking about you too. You just don't know it. You ain't found out about it yet. Verse 21. A quarrelsome person in a dispute is like kerosene thrown on a fire. A quarrelsome person in a dispute is like kerosene thrown on a fire. In the New King James Version, it says, as coal is to burning coals and wood to fire, so is a contentious man to kindle strife. That's one that don't forget. Always on the payback. Always want to pay you back. Don't let nothing go. Remind you of anybody? Verse 22. Listening to gossip is like eating cheap candy. Do you want junk like that in your belly? Listening to gossip is like eating cheap candy. Do you want junk like that in your belly? In the New King James Version, it say the words of a talebearer are like tasty trifles, and they go down to the inmost body. See, and that means that's gossip, boy. That's gossip. That's what that is. Gossip. And sometimes you got some people, boy. I mean, they can make some gossip sweet. I mean, it's a joy just to listen to the delivery of the way they carry some gossip, boy. I ain't joking. Smooth talk from an evil heart is like glaze on cracked pottery. Smooth talk from an evil heart is like glaze on cracked pottery. In the New King James Version, it says, fervent lips with a wicked heart are like earthenware covered with silver draw. That's something that is not what it appears to be. That's just what this is talking about. You know, uh, uh, Smooth talk from an evil heart is like glaze on cracked pottery, uh, standing sharp. And that's I don't have to go no further than that. I mean, he's a smooth talker, but obviously his heart is evil. Because if it wasn't, he wouldn't have been accused of what he's alleged to have been accused of. If his heart wasn't evil. See, I told y'all these scriptures will show you today. You ain't got to go back 2,000 years. They show you today. Verse 20, let's see, I'm gonna read 24 through 26. Your enemy shakes hands and greets you like an old friend, all the while convinced of conniving against you. When he speaks warmly to you, don't believe him for a minute. He's just waiting for the chance to rip you off, no matter how cunningly he conceals his malice. Eventually, his evil will be exposed in the public. All these are for all of your fake friends, okay? That's around you for what they can get, okay? For what they can siphon off the top. That's why they're there. Not because of who you are. The minute the well dries up, they gone. These are your fake friends. Listen, he who hates disguises it with his lips. That means you don't believe nothing he say. That's somebody always trying to flatter you, make you butter you up, make you feel like you more than you really are. It's this person right here, and lays up deceit within himself. When he speaks kindly, do not believe him, for there are seven abominations in his heart. Through his hatred, though his hatred is covered by deceit, his wickedness will be revealed before the assembly. So that's telling you, man, that no matter what a lot of these people are saying and doing out here, man, eventually the truth is gonna come out. And when it start coming out, like this right here, listen, let me show you. Let me show it to you. Let me read it to you. This is Proverbs chapter 6, verse 15. Therefore, his calamity shall come suddenly. Suddenly, he shall be broken without remedy. Okay, um in the Message Bible, it says catastrophe is just around the corner for them. A total mashup, their lives ruined beyond repair. See, and now you're talking about people that are going to be abandoning positions that are going to have to be filled, okay? Opportunities that's going to have to be taken advantage of. See, there's a downside and there's an upside. A lot of people, even like the immigration situation. Man, look at the opportunities that this immigration situation, because you got people that's just, man, they dropped everything and gone. Somebody got to finish that work. Somebody got to step in and fill the void. And that's what we need to be trying to figure out is how are we going to fill this void that's being created? Because you can sit and moan and groan and cry about it all you want, but that ain't gonna change nothing. That ain't gonna change a thing. Okay? But how are you going to fill the void? All right. Oh, let me go back to mine. Go back to mine. All right. Now, verse 27. Malice backfires, spite boomerang. Malice backfires, spite boomerangs. Man, that's trying to get even. Payback. Don't waste your time. Stop wasting your time. And you got so many people out here that's hung up on it. This what the new King James version say. Whoever digs a pit will fall into it, and he who rolls a stone will have it rolled back on him. What goes around comes around, man. And that's what it's saying. When you out here and you think you gonna cause somebody else's life hell, that's what's coming back to you. That's all this getting even and animosity and revenge. Man, that stuff is coming back to you. It's gonna hurt you. Them people ain't gonna even feel that. That you wasting your time. That's some energy you could have used doing something else. Verse 28. Liars hate their victims. Flatterers sabotage trust. Liars hate their victims. Flatterers sabotage trust. In the New King James Version, it says, a lying tongue hate those who are crushed by it, and a flattering mouth work ruin. Man, anytime somebody start telling you about, how good you are and how long they've been watching you and all this stuff, that's the person you need to keep your eye on. Because see, that's the same person that watch you go through hell and then lift one finger to help you out. But they proud of you. They watched you. They've been following you. And now that you have finally arrived in their eyes, now it's time for you can benefit them. And these are the kind of things you have to avoid, man. Okay. So that's the end of chapter 26. Like I said, man, what I like about Proverbs is the fact that um, it shows you how to live today. That's what Proverbs shows how to live today, how to act today, how to be today, not 2,000 years ago, but today. This is how you should act. This is how you should behave. This is how you should, do what you need to do. And that's why I like Proverbs, because it is the roadmap, especially in today's time. Um, you need to become familiar with, because you can save yourself a lot of headache and hassle and trouble, and see, and unfortunately, you know, the only way that's profitable right now is doing it the negative way. It's what's profitable, and those that are attempting to do it the right way, are the ones who are burning out. You know, they don't have the perseverance to hang in there and to ride out the storm. See, that's one of the things that, as far as far as this Deion Sanders thing go with his son. He is a father that's trying to be a father, and you condemn and say you shouldn't be a father like this. This is somebody to care about how the profession that you help grow and shape treat your child, and you're presented as a problem. And see, and the only thing this young boy got to do is stay ready. Stay ready. Because he gonna make money, man. He gonna make bank. That's just to show, we don't need y'all. Y'all need us. We the ticket. And when people understand that, they'll cut out this foolishness. When we understand the power that we as a people that we have, even if we disagree, we still can come together, man, and shut down a lot of this madness that's going on overnight. But, you know, we don't want to trust each other. See, we don't want to give each other a chance. We're not going to uplift each other. So we rather sit down and deal with the consequences of the backlash than to say, well, let's be proactive instead of and stop being reactive. Right now, everybody's reactive to the problem. Nobody's being proactive. And that's what we need, some proactive ideas instead of all these reactive ideas. Because for the longest time, these reactive ideas have never worked. But they still get chance on top of chance on top of chance on top of chance and don't even work. So it's time to get something else a chance. Okay. All right. So anyway, like I said, man, if you read Proverbs, boy, you gonna learn something. You're gonna learn something. It'll show you. Okay. All right. See y'all later.